All right. Fifth grade, we are going to finish our landscape paintings. The last time that we were together, we mixed our tints. They should be dry before you want to start doing your shades. While I was putting down my water, I accidentally spilled a little bit on my hue and it made it re-wet. Unfortunately, that spot is always going to be there, so you want to be really careful when putting down your materials. Your job today is to start from your hue and then start making yours get lighter. I've already used the plain hue on my paper, so now everything that I make today has to be a shade. So when I looked at my sketch, I had a 4, a 5, and a 6 to make, which means I need to make enough paint to paint my 6 shades. So to start with, I'm gonna get my brush wet, and I wanna start with my regular hue in my tray. And I need a lot of it, so I'm gonna have to put the blue paint down quite a bit to make this color last. Occasionally I might need to get a little bit more water. That'll help me pick up more paint, and I'm putting that paint on the tray. I need to make enough of this first shade here to last me for the entire section. So remember, I'm taking the blue off my brush, adding it over here to my tray. It's always better to have too much than not enough. So I'm gonna just keep adding this blue and just painting this section. You'll notice I start to get a little bit of a puddle. Occasionally I might need a little bit more water to get my color and apply it over here. So I have a big puddle started, and I wanna keep going. Picking the blue up, putting it in my tray. Picking the blue up, putting it in my tray. That way I'm making a lot of blue. To start adding my shade to it, I'm going to use just a little bit of black. You want to get your black activated by making it wet first, but I wouldn't take all of this and put it in here. You want to start with a drop at a time. So pick up a little bit, add it to that little black, and then stir it around. It's going to make it a little bit darker, but you want to make sure it looks different. So paint part of your sketch. That looks kind of the same to me, so I'm gonna go back and get a little bit more black and try that again. That looks more like a navy blue. I can actually see the difference in the color. So this is a good place to start for my 4. I do not want to put more water on my brush at this point. Every time I get this, I wanna get color from the tray and then start by slowly outlining the sections so that I can see that color difference. So inside here, this whole section's gonna get painted now with this like navy bluish color. Trying to follow the lines, picking it up from that section and moving down, following my pencil lines to everywhere that this section needs to be. So really focusing on that shape that you're making that line and making sure that the color is darker than what I had there before. So I should see contrast of that color. And then I can paint it and fill this in and spread this out. If I have a lot of this puddle, I can pick this puddle up and spread it. You can see I am already starting to run out of color, so I probably should have added even more blue to my tray. That's okay, because I can pick up what I have and spread it out. You do not want to leave white spaces between one value and the next. So always try to fill that in. If for some reason you feel like it wasn't enough and you've got extra color, you can pick this color up and then just try to put another layer down of that value. So you can see it already is starting to look darker in that spot. The more layers of watercolors you put on your paper, the darker they will become. Now my 5 value, which is down here, needs to be even darker than that. So I am going to start again with that blue, but I know I made a mistake last time and didn't have enough. So I'm going to be putting even more. One trick I might want to try is to really load my brush up. I could take my fingers and squeeze out the droplets of blue. The problem is it's going to get blue all over my fingers, and anything I touch will be blue. So have a paper towel handy or a scrap paper handy you can wipe off your fingers on. I think it's just as easy just to pick it up and put it in your tray. But again, it's going to use a lot. If you're using liquid paint, like acrylic, then you will be taking your hue and adding.
You want to add enough black to each layer so that they progressively get darker. Notice here, each of my layers is indistinguishable from one another. They have contrast, they stand out, and the last layer of those pine trees is almost entirely black with maybe just a drop of blue. Each shade should get darker and darker by adding the black to your hue to get the color you need it to be.